Hello guys, welcome back to Code Clinton. In this video, I'll be showing you how to build a simple weather application with Django. So let me show you how it works. So put in a city name in the search bar. Let's try Lagos. So search. Let's see what Lagos, the weather forecast for Lagos. Oh, my network is quite slow, please. Okay, you can see Lagos has light rain currently. You can see the weather icon. So let's try another city. Let's say Madrid. Okay, search. Let's see what Madrid has. Oh, you can see Madrid has clear sky right now. You can see. Okay, let's try Mexico for the last time. Mexico. Mexico has broken clouds. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a simple weather application with Django. You also find the source code of this video, of this tutorial, of this project in the video's description. And if you want to see how I made this with JavaScript, check down the description of this video for the link to that video whereby I made a weather application with JavaScript. The link is in the description of this video. So without further ado, we are getting started right now. Okay, now so let's create our Django project. So I have VS Code opened right here. So just click on terminal, click on the terminal. Go create a new terminal. You can see my terminal is currently open. So I'm going to go into my desktop. I'm going to say cd desktop, enter. So I'm going to create a directory, a Django project. Before you can create a Django project, you must make sure you have Django installed. And before Django can work on your computer, you must also make sure Python is installed on your computer. So I'm going to simply say Django admin, start project, weather, I'll say weather projects. So enter. So now I'm going to cd into the weather project. I'm going to go into this directory called weather project. So simply say cd weather projects. Enter. Yep. So now I'm going to say Python manage.py run server. Okay. Python manage.py run server. I'm gonna say 8002. So I've been simply Python manage.py run server. I'm going to provide a default port number of 8000, but my current project I have here is using the 8000 port number, so that's why I have to change the port number to 8002. So just simply say enter. So let's wait for some time. Okay, as you can see now, our server is running, our server is already running. So let's try it in the browser. Just simply say 1 2, change that to, yeah, from 8000 to 8002. Okay, nice. We have Django working very fine. So now let's open that project directory. Or we can simply create an app. Let's create an app. Let's create a Django app inside our Django project called Weather Project, right? So let's create a Django app. We're gonna say Python manage.py start app. Let's say weather app. Okay, I think that has been created. Yes, it has already been created. The app has been created. So let's open our weather project. So we're gonna say open folder. You can see the folder should be in my desktop called weather projects. Oh, where are you? Okay, my desktop, weather projects. Okay, here it is. So let's folder. As you can see now, the weather project is open. This is our Django project called weather projects with the app called weather app. You understand? So first of all, we need to register our weather app as inside the installed apps, as part of the installed apps. So open the weather project folder, get into settings.py. Okay, you just need to scroll down. a bit, you find installed apps. So add your weather app into the installed apps. Weather app. So now Django knows about our newly created app called Weather App. So let's work on our views and on the URLs. You can see now Django provides a default web page for us, but we don't want this web page. We want our own template on this particular port. You understand? So let's go work on that. Whereby we are going to put in our own particular template, something like what we have over here. We want the template and not this Django default template. You understand? So let's get down to our views.py. So get down to views.py in views.py in your app. So open your weather app directory. You'll find the file called views.py. So open that file. So we're going to simply create a new view called index. We'll say dev index. I'm putting the request argument. This is a Python function. So we're going to return a template, return render requests. We're going to call this template index.html. I'm going to give it a context. So we're going to put in our data inside the Python's dictionary. So now we have this folder, we have this function that helps return the index.html. So we need to create a URL for this particular function. So in our Weather app, we need to create a new file called urls.py. So create the file called urls.py. I'll say urls.py. Yes, so we're gonna do some importing. We're gonna say from Django.urls import paths. Yes, so we are gonna also import the views.py file. This file over here, we're gonna also import it into the url.py. We're gonna say from dot imports views. So this dot refers to the weather app. You can see it refers to the weather app. Since instead of me simply saying from weather app import views, I could simply say dot because both the urls.py and the views.py are in the same folder. So now after doing that, now I'm going to create a new variable called url patterns. URL pattern should be equal to a list of paths. I'm going to say paths going to be empty. I'm going to refer to the views.index we created from inside our views.py file. So this function, that's what I'm referring to in my urls.py views.index. That's all for that. So save. Okay, this is our urls.py file we just created. Django does not know about it, so we need to like go inform Django about our urls.py file we created for the we created for our weather app. So get into the Django project called Weather Project. It has a urls.py file, so open that file. Yes, you can see it over here. So now we need to let Django know about our newly created urls.py file. So I'm going to simply put another part here, parts. I'm going to create, okay, make this empty. I'll simply say include weather app dot urls. So I'm going to import this include statement we have here. So save. So everything is working fine. So Django knows about our newly created urls.py file. So what we have left is that we need to create a template. This index.html, we need to create this template. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna head straight to our weather app directory to create this template called index.html. So inside the weather app directory, create a folder called templates. Templates. So inside this template folder, we're going to create a file called index.html. So the file called index.html is a template. Simply say index.html. Okay, that's all for now. So I'm gonna I already have this template somewhere else. This index.html template. So I'm just gonna copy it and paste inside of the newly created one. So just copy this, Ctrl A, Ctrl C, and paste straight in here and paste it here. So here's my templates for the weather application. Okay, now we have our template ready. You can see the template is now ready. So now let's get down to the browser and refresh that page. Refresh the page. Oh, there's an error. So let's check what the problem is. So open the terminal again. Okay, we need to start server once more. So we're going to say Python manage the spy run server 8002. Okay, our server is now running. So get down to the browser and refresh the page once more. Oh, it says template does not exist as index.html. So let's see what went wrong. So instead of template folder, weather app templates, views.spy, return render index.html. To save, it should work this time. Okay, as you can see now, it's now working. You can see at this same port 8002, I simply had to go down to my settings.py and save my settings.py. I just had to press Ctrl X after opening my settings.py. I don't know why that had to occur. So you can see the template. You just add this simple city description. The image will appear here, the temperature, the pressure, and the humidity. So I'm going to get onto my views.py now, so we can be able to get the actual data for each city, the actual weather forecast for a particular city. So we are going to use an API called OpenWeatherMap. We are going to add straight to openweathermap.org, so you can use their free API to create this weather application. So head down, so let's straight to openweathermap.org. We're going to say openweathermap.org. So enter. So sorry for the delay, my network is quite slow where I am currently. Okay, you can see now the website is open. This is the website we're going to use for this weather application. So before you could do anything, before you could like use your API properly, you need to sign up to this site. You need to sign up. So you can see this, I'm already signed up. I'm signed up to this site. I use a name called Caleb. So I'm going to log out and show you how to go about this sign up and get your API URL. So log out. Okay, before you could do anything, you must make sure you have an account with this site. So simply say create an account. Okay, yes, so just put in a random username, random password. So I'm gonna simply put in a random username. I'm gonna say, let's say maths email maths@gmail.com. Okay, password. Could simply say put in the same password. So scroll down, just pick up these checkbox, just check them. And I'm not a robot. Okay, create an account. We say password doesn't match. Okay, let's try one more time. So try it again. So create account. Okay, so cancel this. You can see here it says, you can see our account has been created successfully. You can see, so we have the username called Matt. So get down after you signed up, so just click on API keys. So this is your API key. Make sure you copy, just copy, Ctrl C, go paste inside your notepad. Okay, just paste it there. You can see here's my own API URL for getting data from this open weather map, from the openweathermap.org. There's my own API URL. So you need to get your API key before you can use your API URL. You must get an API key. So after you've gotten your API key, simply click on API up here. Okay, you come down to the first option, which is current weather data, and click on API doc. Okay, yeah, you can see by city name. We have by city name over here. If you scroll down, you see another option. We have by city ID. If you scroll down, you see by zip code. So we want to use by by city name. You understand? I want to use by city name. So just copy any of these APIs we have here. You just copy any of them and get onto your notepad and paste. So you paste. Okay, here it is now. So here's the API URL. So this API key you have here, your API key, just copy, Ctrl C. So you remove this one here and paste your API key. So you could put in a city name here, any city you know, let's say London. Yeah, so now you just created a new API URL to access data from openweathermap.org. You can see we just constructed an API whereby you can use to fetch weather details or weather forecast of cities around the world. So now we have one now. So let's get down to our views.py and write the actual code to process this we have been talking about. Test our API so we can fetch a weather forecast. So we can fetch weather forecast of a particular city. You understand? So we need to get the particular city. How do we get the city name? So once you get this, once you get whatever that is put into this search bar, once you get whatever city is put into this search bar, once you get that city name. So we're gonna simply say, come down to the views. We're gonna simply say if request dot method is equal to post. If it is a post request, how do we know if it is a post request? When we like click on this search icon, and from the source code, from the templates, if you check very well from the templates, you will see the form. You will see that the form has a post method over here. So you want to say that if it is a post method, help get the city name. You understand? So that's it now. If request method is equal to post, I'm going to simply say city should be equal to requests dot post dot get. So city. So now we just got the city name through this code we wrote here. And you are wondering why city? I said request dot post dot get city. If you get down to the form, to the input field of that particular form, so here's the input field. You can see the input field has an attribute with the value of city. So we are picking the value of that search bar through its name attributes, and the value of the name attribute is city, which we did in our views.py. We got it through the city. You can see the value of the name attribute, which is city. Request.post.get city. So now we're gonna import two more things. We're gonna import URL library, and we're gonna also import JSON. We're gonna say import URL library and also import JSON. This JSON helps to convert our data from the OpenWeatherMap URL to a Python dictionary. Understand? This JSON will help convert the data. The data is in JSON form from the URL. How will I say this now? The data from our API is in JSON format. So this JSON is going to help us convert that data to a Python dictionary. So now that's it. Now, so we're going to simply say API URL. This is a variable API URL. You could call yours anything. This is a variable name, and you could call yours any variable. You could call yours anything. You can say equal to URL library dot request dot open URL. So we're going to put in our API URL into this parenthesis. So let's go get our API URL. You understand? So from our notepad, you can see we have two API URL. They are basically the same thing, but what differentiates these two APIs is that they both have different API key. You understand? They have different API keys. So you could use any of them if you like. Any of them will work very fine. So let's use the first one. Simply say Ctrl C, copy and get down to VS Code and paste. So you paste it. Okay, that's it now. So we're gonna simply put dot read at the end. Dot read. Okay, that's it now. It should be URL open and not open URL. URL open. So now you can see. So I'm gonna show you something. I want to show you something. You can see we have a city here called Lagos. But we are not looking for only Lagos. We're looking for all other cities around the world. So we're gonna like remove that Lagos and put something else over there. You understand? So now we are gonna simply append our city, the city variable we got from. We're gonna simply append this city into this link, this URL we have here. So now let's do that right now. So now I'm gonna put a string on. I'm gonna differentiate these two. Okay, so they have been differentiated. Yes, that's it now. They have been differentiated. So I'm gonna just say plus. Put the plus city. You know, Lagos was there before. We are not looking for only Lagos. We're looking for all other cities around the world. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm gonna simply say mm, and and units equal metric. Yeah, and units equal metric. So yes, we just constructed an API URL now. And we're gonna simply come over here and put HTTP just like a standard URL colon forward slash forward slash. So that's it. Now our API has been constructed, but the API is still in JSON format. We want the API to be in a dictionary, in the Python dictionary, understand? So we're going to convert this API to a Python dictionary. So we're going to create a new variable called API URL2. You could call yours any name you like, understand? URL2 should be equal to JSON.load API URL. So it has been converted to Python's dictionary. So let's print AP. So we're gonna print. I'm gonna say print. I'm gonna simply print API URL2 to see if it is actually working. Okay, so save your work and get down to browser. So let's search for a city name. So let's just say London. Okay, search. Okay, this is because of internet. This error occurred due to internet. So let me check my network. Refresh the page once more. Oh, my network is quite slow. Please be patient. Okay, so now it has loaded the web page. So let's check now our terminal to see. Okay, right. So you can see it's working. It has given us the weather details. They are over here. You can see we have field, we have degree, we have description over overcast clouds, and that's for London. Name of the city here is London. So our API is working. So we need to fetch the data. We need to pick some data like the description of the weather icon, the temperature, the humidity, the country. So we need to pick up some of these data from this API. You understand? So let's do that right now. So get down to views.py. Yeah, views.py. So we're gonna create a new variable called data. We're gonna say data. You could call yours any name you like. So I choose to call my data. So we're gonna say data should be equal to a dictionary. So in our dictionary, we need to pick. We need some names. We need to pick up some data. So from our index.html, you see here, I had to pick up description, temperature, pressure, and humidity. So let's do that right now. Okay. So get down to views.py. So I'm gonna say city. Our first item should be city. So I also need weather description should be a string. Weather description, weather description, weather temperature follows. Okay, after that, what else? Let's see from our index.html what else we added. Weather pressure and humidity. So let's okay, now we have weather pressure, weather pressure. Okay, and weather humidity. Okay, that's all for now. So we need to pick, so we want to get the data, the actual data. Okay, so let's do that. We just have the keys. We want to get the value, key value pairs. Understand? Yes, we need to also add the weather icon. Understand? We need to add the icon also. We're gonna say weather icon. Yes. So that's all for now. So let's get actual values for these keys. So get onto your browser. So you can see this is our browser from where we got our API. You understand? These are the APIs we have here. So if you just scroll down a bit, you will see the API data in JSON format. You scroll down, keep scrolling, you can see over here it is in JSON format. Here are the API data. If you look, just watch it clearly, you can see the weather description, clear sky, the icon, O1D, and other information you need about a particular weather forecast. Understand? So now you see, now we are going to simply come here to, so for the city we could simply put city. You know, we have city from here. Yeah, let me just put city from there. For the city value, simply say city. So once you get the weather description, we're going to use this. We're going to say API URL 2. I'm going to say API. You could use any of them. You could use either API URL or API URL 2. So let's go with API URL 2. This API URL 2 is the entire data, is the entire API data, understand? So we're gonna say API URL 2. As I said earlier, it is the entire object, the entire data we have here. You can see this data we have here. So get out to the browser. Okay, now so once you get the description, you can see these and objects or a dictionary. So to access, we want to pick up this particular key. Understand? As the code key as the first. Want to pick up a weather key. We'll simply come over here, get down to your browser, just put square brackets, weather. Yes. So look again. So now we are in weather, and you see weather now it's a list. You can see it's an array or a list. So weather is a list. So we want to access this first item in the list. So how do we access items in the list? The first item, we use square brackets 0, square brackets 0. So want to now, after that, we want to pick up the description. We want to pick up the description, square bracket 0. So we're going to put another square bracket description, square brackets description. That's it now. So we just simply copy this for the weather icon. Control C. Why am I copying that? You can see the icon and the description are in the same place. They are both. You can see the icon just down here. So get on the browser and paste for the icon. Ctrl V, change this to icon, and that's it now. So let's work on the temperature. So after this, always put a comma after each key, put a comma. So let's work on the temperature. So we're gonna find temperature. Just scroll down. You can see the temperature over here. This temperature is here. So we are gonna access temp, main temp. Abi, we're gonna for access main. So just paste that here. So change this to main and change this to, so remove this square bracket 0 and change description to temp. So save. Okay, I just hope we are correct with what we are doing. Okay, we need to get the prayer and humidity. They are both in the same place. You can see prayer and humidity temp is above them. So just copy that temp and change. Okay, Ctrl C, paste over here. Ctrl V, change this to prayer. Oh no. So change this to humidity. So save your work. Okay, so we've been able to get the actual data for these keys. We are able to get the values for the keys. We are able to get some of the data we need for our weather forecast for the weather app. But you can see for all these things to work, for all what we've done to work, we need to a post request needs to take place. For all what we've done here, for them to work, a post request must have taken place, whereby you get down to the browser here, you put in a city and you click on the search button for before those stuff can work. But what about when you just come to the page? What about if it is a get request? What's gonna happen? There's gonna be an error if you do nothing about that. So let's go now. We're gonna say else. We're gonna say else now. We'll simply say else. So I said earlier, for all what we've done up here in the post request for it to work, there must be we must have sent a post request whereby you enter a data and click on the search button for all what we've done to work. And I said again, what about if we just come to the page? There will be an error if we do nothing about the get request. You understand? So as I said, come down to the browser and say else. This else means that, as I said earlier up here, said if request.post, if request.method is equal to post, we get all this, abi. So else, if it is not a post request, it's going to be a get request. So we're going to say else, simply copy this data, simply copy it, Ctrl C, and paste down here in the else section, Ctrl V, and change everything in there to none, all the values to none. Change them to none. Okay, now now I've changed the, you can see I've changed all of them now to none for the get request. But we're having an error. The else statement, what could be wrong? Let's see what it says again. It says invalid syntax. Okay, if you watch closely, you can see the if and the else statement are not on the same line. That's why the error occurred. You can see the if is a bit backwards, why the else is a bit forward. So let's take this backwards. Okay, I think you should work now. So save your work. I hope the error does not occur again. Okay, nice. The error does not occur again. So we need to put this data, the data we have, we need to put it inside of the context. Just simply say data. So save. So that's all we have to do on the views.py. So let's get down to our index.html, our templates, and do the remaining work there. Okay, get down to your templates. So now we'll come over here. we'll simply write an if statement. We'll say if data is not known. For example, say if data dot a particular key in data, if it is not known. Okay, so come down here to the index.html. So we just do that right now. We'll say if data.ct, let's use ct, if data.ct is not known. So end the if statement. There should be the endpoint. And if so one, so we just ended the ifs now. So if data.ct is not known, that means if the data.ct has values, we want to show this aspect, right? So now let's put in the actual data into their respective places. So for the city, we'll simply put data.ct. For the description, we'll put data dot weather description. Okay, else again for the temperature, say data. So for it's now smoky, if now say data dot weather temperature. And for the prayer, do the same thing. Okay, now so now we have inputted the values into the template, right? So now let's go and see how it works on the browser. On our browser, we need to now put in a city name. Let's try Accra in Ghana. So click on the search icon. Let's see if it's gonna work. Oh, my network is just too slow. Please be patient with me. Nice. You can see now we have the weather forecast for Accra in Ghana. You can see perfect. Nice, looking good. But now you can see we don't have the weather icon. We don't have the icon, and I also want to make sure the first letter in each word has that. I want to make sure this A is in capital letter and the C here is also in capital letter. So now let's go do that first. So I'm going to get down to my templates, straight here, and simply put cap first. What we call template filters. So I'm going to put cap first. I'm going to like make the first letter in caps. So do that also for the description. Simply say cap first. So save, get into the browser, and refresh the page once more. Enter. As you can see, Accra, the A in Accra is in capital letter and the C in Kleska is also in capital letter. So now let's work on the icon. You can see here, if you look closely, just here, where I have my description, I also have a div that helps to house our icon. You can see the URL for OpenWeatherMap. We use URLs to access the icon. Okay, here's the icon. Okay, so data.weather icon, right? I said it .weather icon. If you go down here from my view.py, you will see it clearly. Data.weather icon. Yeah. So this weather icon is going to return a string. If you check let's check the OpenWeatherMap API.org. You see the icon returns a string O1D. Okay, get down to the browser, to the editor once more. So now I'm just going to put that data.weather icon, that string. This data.weather icon is the string O1D or whatever .png. So after that, it's going to return our icon for us. So just save your work. I hope this should work now. So as I was saying, now we have so now when we search for a new city, it's going to also show the icon along with other data. So now we can see here's how to like get icon from the OpenWeatherMap API. You can see you're gonna do /img/w/decode.png. So get down to the browser once more. Let's check out Lagos in Nigeria. Lagos. So search. Nice. You can see we have Lagos. So we don't have the the web page is still loading. Wow, we can see now we have the icon for Lagos light train. So let's check out for Yaoundé in Cameroon. Yaoundé. Hope I spelled that well. Yaoundé. So search. Okay, you can see Yaoundé currently has broken clouds. So let's check Madrid in Spain. Madrid in Spain. You can see clearly Madrid has clear sky. The temperature 4.12. The pressure 1022. Humidity 75. Okay, so we've come to the end of this tutorial whereby we're able to build a weather application with Django. Hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. We've come to the end of this video. You can also show me some love by liking this video and sharing it with your friends. Thank you for watching. We'll see in the next video.